So look at the fun we're having today with a guest artist. But first, so wait for that. We're going to do some really cool watercoloring techniques.
This is how long you get me today. I'm gone as soon as
he says, "Do I go take a nap then?" And I said, "And I'm playing Tim's role because I'm usually telling you, you're following what I do. Today I get to do that, so it's a role reversal, and
we'll
I guess we kicked Tim out.
We'll see if she can do it.
I know it'll be really fun.
No, I want to do it.
This was the drawing for this week. This gorgeous floral squares dies that was sent to me by Linda Alderson. You guys that send these things are just absolutely amazing. And this is going to Lisa Kurz. All you need to do, Lisa, is message me your address, and I popped that in the mail. You set that aside. Yep. And then for this week's drawing, and all I need to do is see your name, comment, share, whatever, so your name shows up. This was sent to me by Barbara Suit, so thanks to her. This is an older, these are all discontinued sets. And it's what I do with my discontinued sets too. So it's really fun because they're just fun to.
But brand new. Unused.
Yeah, but unused. And this was a whole set. And some of you have sent me extras and I said, oh, I think I'm rubbing off on you because you have doubles of things. Yeah. And you didn't realize it, or you never got around to using it. So it's so fun. I love two-step stamping. And this is such a gorgeous set. It's a very soft watercolor stamp set. And we've been planting a bunch of flowers. So this totally fits the week. So this is for this week. And this would be the code. Boy, we're almost to the end of the month. Is the first on Tuesday? Oh, that's just amazing. This is one of the 3 cards in the card kit that you get from me this month if you place an order through my website of $50 or more. So you can always find this on KarenTitus.com. And my last thing is tomorrow and Saturday, tomorrow evening and all this Saturday is our card play online retreat that I do with Deb Witt, Holly Sutton, Julie Heitz, and myself. So 3 of my team members. It's our second time we're doing this, and we have so much fun doing this. You can still join us. We have make and take packets, but you wouldn't get them in time if they want, but you can just do the online. And we have listed in the group all of the supplies for the make and takes, even for the things that aren't in the packet, because we're featuring the ink and tiled bundle, which is really cool. So this is what we're doing today too. But it's never too late to join us. But then we each are showing 2 other bundles too, and we have PDFs. Everything is unique to the group. So anyway, that'll be fun. So I
thought you were going to say we were featured on CBS Sunday morning.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, it is dreams, but anyway, I look forward to this weekend because we just have a lot of conversation. It was just you get to know each other. It's really fun. So anyway, love that. So,
and I did lose an argument earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Taglines of Walter Cronkite. Yeah.
Okay.
Renee.
Okay.
Renee is.
So Renee DeSchane, before we introduce you, we're going to just say a little bit about her. These are a couple. Many of you will know her from her name because she's a regular contributor.
And her pickups that is my
and this
pickup.
That we have up at Christmas all the time, Christmas season with the tree in it. She made this. So
and it stays up really all year round.
He just moves to another shelf. And this. So
which I drink tea out of all the time. I
call Renee the over-the-top stamper, friend of mine. And Tim, what do you call her?
The overachiever.
So those are our nicknames for
she does not,
her. So
she does not just do a normal thing.
Okay, everyone loves it. Okay, so this is introducing Renee.
Okay, so I get out of here. Goodbye.
Yes, you can.
Renee, drum roll, please.
So Renee and I were trying to figure out how long we've known each other.
Hi, everybody.
She's been making cards for about 15 years. She was a demonstrator for quite a few years, took a break, and now she's been back for a few years, and we just love the connection. So she's from here in Minnesota, so that's why I had her over here. I'm going to do more of this kind of thing with some of my team members because I think it'd be fun, and sometimes we can't be local together, but this we could. And she sent me these gorgeous cards, one for me and one for Tim. So we're going to make this card. She's also going to show how to do the sky. So this is going to be really fun. So I immediately reached out to her and said, do you want to come teach that to me? And we'll do it live on one of our things. So I think that's really fun. But a little more about, what else would you want to say about yourself?
I'm a grandmother.
Of 4?
Of 4. Just celebrated my 22nd anniversary with my second husband.
222. We're on a theme there.
Yeah. I said originally I'm from Wisconsin, but I haven't been there for I couldn't tell you how many years. Way too
So-
many.
Renee has done classes in her home for many years. And now she's on a nice long break redoing her craft room and figuring out what she's going to do. I keep telling her she should be doing videos because she is an amazing stamper. She loves to take ideas, figure out how to do it, make it her own. Just that whole kind of creative thing that we just love. So you guys could encourage her to do that. So I said, so, but anyway, and you can reach out to her if you have questions. At this point in time, she is not online, but she can answer questions for you. And I'm just thrilled to have her on our team and in my friendship circle. I mean, friendships really are, I think, the best part of
Oh yeah, definitely.
This year. So we are going to get started. Oh yeah, it's really hot here. I told her we were going to take her out for lunch afterwards, but it's too hot to even leave. So we'll have salad here. Okay, so we have 2 workspaces. And you know, we dwell in the land of possibilities. So we are going to do, she's got different ways of doing things. So we will each do them. Okay, we'll save that one for afterwards. So this is the card that piqued my curiosity. And I want to point out a couple of things about it. Look at how the flower extends out there. All these just cool parts about it. I just thought that just really struck me as such an interesting thing to do. Well, good. Kathy says, cool, we're doing this together. Yeah, I think that's all fun. And we all love to learn. Yeah, see, people are asking if she has a vlog, but you know, she doesn't. But you know what? With some encouragement, maybe she will. So we love comments and I pass comments on to her. So if you are on my email list, you got the list of supplies, and some of the supplies are optional, like you could use different things. So we're going to be using some different things just because we always want you to feel like you can use what you have at home, you know. And the thing with watercoloring is everything turns out differently. Mine may or may not turn out at all. I don't know. I've never done this. So it will be very fun. But we all know that the experience is how we learn. It's just so fun.
Okay. The first thing that I normally do, I said, what I liked how I did this, instead of actually using the ink pad, which you could do, I take my markers. And being that these are water-based, and I did, oops, get it up here.
So this is called direct to paper. What do they call? Is this what they call direct to paper?
Well,
or direct?
I'm not sure what the
I thought
technical.
that was where that came, but it's
Okay, so
direct to
I
stamps
will
anyway.
color this first, and I am using Calypso Coral.
And do you guys see how she put, for easy grabbability?
Yeah,
she put her own large print labels on there, which is
I
really smart.
I can't ever read it when I'm going like this. Like, what the heck color is it? I don't know.
Question from Kathy: do you have to use watercolor paper?
Yes.
Yeah, you could try shimmery white if you don't have any other, but regular cardstock will beat up. So this is a kind of, but you know, if you don't have any, use something regular because you're still learning the process, and then you can decide, oh, is this something I'd like to get watercolor paper for?
Yeah, watercolor paper is perfect because you're going to be wetting it
Quite a bit.
and like say, regular paper is just going to disintegrate. It's just going to beat up, and it's going to just, it's going to fall apart. Okay, so we get that on there, and then we do the huffing. And then I will stamp on my paper. And this one may not be as strong of a image as if you would use, you can.
Now I'm going to do the same thing, but use the ink pad since we're talking about different possibilities here.
And this is not quite as strong as, like, say, using the ink pads.
Yeah, I just love how every variation you do with anything gives you a different look. So it's all about playing, which is going for a wet wipe there. So we have all this, you know, on the supply list, we did things like cup of water, paper towels, wet wipes. Okay, so I'll take that.
Oh, yeah.
And
then what I would probably do is, since this isn't real, especially with the flower, I will just take my marker a little bit and color it in just a smidge more so you have more color.
Joe, it's cool. We're kind of improvising as we go, actually. I think that's kind of okay. So you can see I'm just being careful where I'm putting my ink pads, and I'm not going to worry if I have a little missing part because it's a watercolor. Watercolor has its own.
So now the reason I usually use a glass block at home, but you can use a stamping block. You can use a craft mat, and I also have used a heavy sheet of acetate. And so what the idea we're going to do now is,
Well, and we have that in the picture. I have all three things in a picture on the blog, so you can use.
okay. So I'm just
I'm going
to put a little color on the glass block.
Oh, I didn't get mine very good at all. And it should have, I usually do better than this. I think I was being so cautious. So look at this. Okay. Then I just want to add some of this, right?
Yeah.
See?
Okay.
We're going to just.
So this is why you need paper
I
towel.
love playtime.
You need paper towel for us because you don't want you're going to start getting your color wet. And sometimes you don't want it too wet. Otherwise it comes out way too dark.
So she is using a paintbrush. I am using the aqua painters without any water in it. But I also wanted to say, now you could use a stamp pad on this too, just directly on here and then do the same thing.
Yeah.
So if you don't have the markers, you can do that. So I'm going to do the same.
So then I just kind of go at it, randomly. And even though we have our image stamped, don't worry about it.
I'd like, you know what? I can use my wider one, right? My wider brush.
Yeah.
I'm going to use a wider one.
Okay.
I need to go.
And you can go over
a little faster than that.
Go over past your images a little bit. It looks like we're going to put some more marker on our block.
See, this is just kind of cool playing around. Oh. But I'm also okay with that. So also good.
Okay.
Okay, one last little swoop in here.
And it's fine if you leave white areas, no big deal. It just gives you a little more of a, I don't know.
That's one of the things I learned just from watching some classes that new, if you're a newbie at something, you just feel like you want to fill in everything, but artists know where to leave white spaces and it kind of rests the eye. So just like get brave. It kind of just doesn't matter. Okay. So we're going to wipe that off and change colors.
And that was actually the color I used for this guy is Azure Afternoon, one of the new ones. And then this is Misty Moonlight.
Now I got mine probably a little close, but it's going to be okay. It's just a cool
fine.
Look. And that's where I think it is so fun because your own cards are all going to turn out so differently. Okay. And this is the same stamp set we're using for the Make and Takes this weekend. I love the stamp set. It's just really wonderful.
Got to get it nice because you don't want it too dark. You want it more subtle.
You can always add more.
Yeah.
Okay. So, we're adding. So this is going to the sky too.
No, this is going your base. This is going underneath.
Oh, see. Okay. My base is really big.
That's okay.
That's okay.
That's fine.
Because it's my card and nobody would see the original that I gave it to. I always just think that's so funny because we don't know what the other, I think we need more. And I actually think I would put a little water in this to make it run a little. Could you do me a favor, Tim? Mm-hmm. Put a little, the funny thing about water painters, they go the wrong way. They're just, it must be the European way or something, but they unscrew. I'm always fighting with them. I'm going to try that since we're just playing.
Okay. Then what I'm going to do is, do you want to give me the heat gun?
Yes. Renee Butler is saying she's from Michigan. Her daughter lives 5 blocks from where we do. So if she shows up sometime, yes. She's been one of my Monday Mavens too, back when we had a larger group. So we'll get a group together if you come, Renee. That would be fun. So
this is going to be a little noisy. So you want to dry your card.
So she's working on hers, and I'm just going to keep playing with mine.
So you just, kind of flutter it around. It doesn't take long for it to dry. And do both sides.
Ooh, okay.
And on your way.
No. This is called a tangled. Interesting thing. Okay, and we'll do mine. Now, if you don't have heat, then that doesn't matter either. You just have to be more patient.
I think you could use a hair dryer.
Yeah, for this, I bet you could.
For this, you could use a hair dryer.
Because we're not embossing. We're just drying it so we can move on to the next part.
Then you just kind of fold it and, bend it back into shape. Okay.
All right.
So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my brush again, and then we're going to just kind of flick up.
I love this, and I've not seen this ever done before.
Flick up and we're going to add dimension to our flower.
Since I'm going very impressionistic here, excuse me a minute, I'm going to grab this. I'm going to be very daring since I don't really care. You guys don't usually see the first ones that I do of anything. So I was just laugh. So today you are. So we might as well just really, I'm going to try to stamp over mine. And if this were a see-through, it'd work better. But I am deciding that because it's such an impressionistic stamp anyway, and look.
And you don't want to get it.
I could have a little background.
I left my brush get a little wetter than I should have, because then it bleeds a little bit more. Yeah,
oh, okay.
That's cool.
Well, okay. So I just needed a little more to work with there. I just didn't have enough to flick. So, okay. So now I'm going to take my finer brush and do that same flicking. It's so weird to, oh, I love that. Oh, look, that is so cool. So think of all the things you could do this with. I mean, this is just one stamp set. Okay, very cool. And it just, gives a very different look. And it's definitely the kind of thing you'll take your first one and then you'll decide what you would do differently for your next ones. Okay.
Got the stamp for this one, but we'll do it in a different color.
Oh, sure. Sure. Okay, now we're going to put the...
take this.
Okay.
I forgot the other color, the other room. But
yeah.
We'll just...
So we're just going to
winging
mix.
it.
This is going to be, so you can see how we're working. Do you see how they all look differently? And now she's going to put this on the bottom. Another stamp set in here.
This is the stamp that Tim kept.
Now this one is showing, see, I did not get mine dark enough. I also want to point out, now these are darker colors. This looks like old olive probably.
Yeah.
And rich raspberry, which also this gives... I think it's interesting because you see the light pink and then that. I'm not seeing quite as much.
This one kind of bled a little bit
mind, but
too much on here.
But this is playtime for adults, you guys. So this is
that didn't come out.
Oh, we might do that one again. You know what? I'm thinking.
Well, I did it on top of it.
Oh, okay. Or might need re-inking on the stamp.
No, I think I was sitting on top of that. Oh, well, so we'll have it little.
And this does show, the whole idea of watercolor. There's so many different ways you can do it. So much fun you can have with it that you can just use whatever you want to. Ron says, Karen, you're a great flicker. I said, too funny. Okay, let's put this on.
And then I kind of just went over it a little bit. I got a little too much water on there.
But you see how she's talking to herself? Okay, she's talking to you guys, but how we're always commenting, watercolor is very different from another kind of thing where you're just doing like a precise fold and then a precise thing. Yeah. But I think that's the beauty of this because it's so, okay, I'm going to use my wider one here and a little wetter. And okay, so you're just kind of going across here. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. I like it.
Just gives it a whole different effect.
Yes. So. Okay, so how cool is that? And
then I said you have the option of different layering. If you want to layer it, take some layers out of the colors that you have here.
So do you have some colors that would go with this?
Yes.
And then I'm going to show you, these are other cards that she's done with us.
Okay. This.
So look at all these different colors done with the same technique. I think one of the fun thing, if you sit and play with something like this and you do all these different colors, then it's fun to have a bunch of assorted cards stuck out and see what's going to work.
2 colors this way, or you can reverse them this way.
And now she's going to cut this down. She left this a little larger.
These are just regular size, but I said you cut them down quarter increments from the card base, which is your 5.5 by 4 1/4. So each one of these will be a quarter smaller.
Yep.
I said you can even use.
Now looking at yours, what I think would even be interesting would be to stamp the stamp itself right over that
again.
In the. I mean, look at that.
Once it's
dry. Do you see that would give that whole? And it gives all that lovely background.
And then here's.
Ooh, so that's what I'm going to play on. But I thought, how fun is that?
And
then by cutting it down after, you can see which sides, if there's any mistakes.
Whichever way you want to do it, whatever color scheme you want to do, that's how that works. The easiest.
Wonderful. So that is so fun. So these are the different colors. And then she's going to show how to do the sky on this one. I said, is this fun? Oh, that looks so fall, like somebody saying, yeah, aren't these just fun? So look, we have totally fall, different looks. These have blues, like you think of blue skies. Now, why did these have blotches here? Did you flick something on that?
I did do the faux bleaching on that.
And how do you do that?
The faux bleaching is, you will,
yeah,
I can do it on
do that too. Yeah.
on here.
Or you can do it on mine. Can you just do it? Or on yours?
Mine's
Okay, yeah,
a little
okay.
darker.
Okay.
So you just wet your brush and then you just kind of flick. And the more you let it sit, the more it will.
Just look at all the techniques we're doing here. And then you're just going to let that dry.
You let it sit for a little bit. And then you'll take your paper towel and then you just blot it. I don't know if this is.
Oh, yeah. Cool. I can see some of that. Now, this was pretty dry. So you do it when it's probably still a little.
No, you can do it. You can do it when it's
look
wet.
I see all those spots.
It will reactivate when it's.
Look at that compared to that and that. That is. Let's see.
And
is so.
You can do as many or as little
cool. So
as you want.
This one shows it really well. I'm going to put that up there to see all of that. Oh, that just adds too. I love the flicking and then that faux bleaching. I thought, oh, what an awesome look. How long does it take to dry? If you don't use a heat gun or something?
Oh, because it depends on how wet you get it, how wet you get your cardstock, your watercolor paper. Not very long, really. I mean, you could probably fan it for a little while. And
I don't think it'd take long, and you can just kind of test
usually,
it.
Usually by the time you're done with one area, you go to the other area, maybe almost dry. Mm-hmm. So it's just, but you're going to have to, because it bends and because it gets wet. So you're going to have to re-straighten it out before you put it on your card.
And if it doesn't re-straighten, you guys know I put things under a box of catalogs or heavy books overnight, or I use tear and tape all around something. That'll make it lay really flat. There's all kinds of things you do. You get a little wet again, flatten it out. So do whatever. But I love doing a whole bunch of these when I sit down and then having fun coordinating them with colors and coming up with styles. Then they're my raw materials. Okay, so we are on to this one.
All right.
Isn't that fun? And of course, this is what we're doing, the Back Porch Stampers. Anything using these watercolor techniques that we're sharing. So you can be as creative as you like. And there will be a project sheet up tomorrow with all the steps in this, and it'll be step by step on my blog too, but then you can also download the project sheet.
Okay. Again, I'm going to use the glass block, and we're going to start out with our blue again. We're going to start out with our blue coloring in our sky. And once again, get it kind of wet. And if your brush is too wet, then take your paper towel and just kind of dab it. And so all you want to do is just start flicking across your paper back and forth a little bit. No particular order, no particular anything.
Pat says she needs to find her watercolor paper. Yes, this will give you incentive to do that. So
okay. And then I'm going to take this color. Are you going to do it or not?
Oh, yes, we should be doing. Well, I have another. You gave me two pieces.
I gave you two right there.
Oh, right here. Oh, watch me quick catch up.
Yeah, I'll use the other. I'll just use my case, my papers.
Okay, ta-da. Okay, I'm good.
Okay, so then we'll wipe this all off. And
this is fun playing my role today.
And then
I'm being like you guys.
Like I said, you can use any color you want.
If I were making a whole bunch of these in a row, you do each part of it and move on to the next, or you could even have several blocks out with all your colors on.
And I think it's fun listening.
Oh, Tim's enjoying listening from the other room. He's snacking.
I ate one peanut, but I've been working and cleaning the kitchen.
Oh, and then this is just going anywhere?
And then you just kind of have at it. I thought I had a third. I guess.
That's beautiful. Okay, I'm loving the colors. So you're just going to do this until? Yes, re-inker would work too. Connie, thank you for asking that. If you don't have, so look at, you can use, isn't this cool? You could use this to dry your color
Yeah,
from.
and you can
let's
take
just
your
show
ink
this.
pad and rub it across.
So if we do that, okay, now pick some up from there with your wet brush. See, it's the same thing.
And this probably here makes it a little darker.
There you have a lot, because you want to make sure you get it plenty light. But even if it goes on too dark, if you dab, if I put something on darker than I want it and I dab it before it, look at that, that'll help get it lighter. And then I can also just add
And I
water.
thought I
So
had
I'm
a
just
yellow, but I
messing
guess
things
I
up
don't
here.
have a yellow. But I mean, the idea that,
Oh, well, no, we have green. I don't know if you want green in the sky also. That's good.
well,
Okay, but do you see how the colors
it's
are
the
just
idea how
blending?
they all blend together.
So if you have an ink refill, that could just go in a corner too and pull it all out.
Yeah,
So I love that you can use any of that. It just doesn't matter. If you're using markers, you're using the Stampin' Upright markers, not the
Not the blends.
that are
Blends are
permanent.
alcohol and blends ain't gonna work.
Yes. So you can use, and you notice you can use paint brushes like she's using. You can use the watercolor painters. I love that. You can use whatever you want. It is the technique that she's showing. And I absolutely love the flicking and the faux bleaching. I said, those are new techniques to me. So I am so thrilled. That is so fun. A sunset sky. Yes, that does look like a sunset sky. And we can go on. And I know you guys are going to come up with some really fun, interesting color combinations. So again, I decided, just because we had such a mess on the table, we're going to open mail next week, because I thought we had to take a week off because we had this all set up for 2. But this was really fun. And I just really want to thank Renee for doing
Thank
this.
you. I enjoyed it.
And everything will be on the blog. Thank you for asking that about the markers or blends, because we always want to pay attention to that, because the blends are permanent, and you wouldn't use the Stampin' Blends. You would never use directly on your stamps either, because they're permanent. So the markers are what you want.
Your writers.
Also means if you don't have these markers and you have Crayola markers, they're water-based, you can use those.
Yeah.
You can teach this to kids with
You
Crayola
could
markers.
also, if you happen to have, teach kids, if you happen to have the kids, the old-fashioned paint,
Yes. Yes. Old-fashioned
that's
paint. Yes.
all water-based.
Yes, you could do these same. So look at the world of possibilities that we have. I just think it's so fun that we can take an idea, use what supplies we have, and create it. So this would be another great project with kids. And it teaches creativity right built in, because you can't make it exactly like the teacher anyway. So I think this is very fun. So this was easy to do. And thanks you all for watching us. I'll spend the weekend with a bunch of you, and then we'll see the rest of you on Monday. And thanks for being in our world. And thank you.
You're welcome.
Renee.
Thank you. Bye-bye.